guys about my makeup look for today. So I'm just going to see my boyfriend. I actually didn't wear makeup yesterday, or I just wore like a super minimal amount. I don't even know if I like my makeup today though, like my eyeshadow. I really like my face makeup, and my eyeshadow is not really giving, but whatever. So yesterday I had my next dentist appointment, and I had to go get 2 fillings done. So I wasn't gonna wear makeup for that. There's just no point wearing makeup to the dentist anymore because it literally gets so messed up after they're done. It's like there really is no point of wearing it. But my mom and I had to go to the DMV yesterday morning, so I was out of the house by like 11, and I just put the LA Girl white liner on my waterline and the ColourPop Level Up mascara on, and then I just threw on the Summer Fridays lip balm, and that's all I wore yesterday because I wanted to wear something, but nothing really crazy at all. Like, I didn't wear any face makeup, but also, like, since I've been doing that more often, I've been getting through more books, and I'll just, like, binge a book then. And honestly, like, that hour that I spend doing my makeup when I'm not really going anywhere really is no point. So I've been taking more breaks from makeup, and also, like, it's just been so bloody hot lately that, like, you don't really want to wear it sometimes because it's just been way too hot the past couple of weeks. So anyway, and then I just binged the book that I was reading last night, and I finished it, and I can't wait to tell you guys what I thought. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I just used the Clarins lip oil, but then I just threw on another gloss anyway, because like I've said, I've pretty much been living in glosses this summer, or lip oils, or just really light lip products. And then I set my eyes with ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder, and then for my eyeshadow palette today, I just went back into the ColourPop and Pokemon palette, but honestly, I kind of have like no faith in this look really lasting, but it doesn't really matter today. So I just went into Fossil in the crease, and then I darkened it up more with Trainer's Path, and then I went into I Choose You on the lid, and then I went into Vermilion City on the inner corners just to pick up a little bit more of the orangey red in my shirt. The thing is that, like, I feel like the quality in this palette is pretty hit and miss. Like, there's some shades that are spectacular, and then there's some shades that, like, are super dry mattes and kind of dry shimmers as well. Most of the shimmers in here have been really good, but, like, the darker shimmers, like this blue and this purple and this red, have been very hard to get more pigmented. But the Viridian City one is really, really pretty, and that one seems to work just fine. And that's actually my favorite shimmer in the palette because it's kind of like a duochrome, and it's just so pretty. But I don't know. I've been wearing it a crap ton, though. I've been trying to get as much use out of it as possible because it was the newest palette I added to my collection. But honestly, like, I have not wanted to buy one eyeshadow palette. I didn't even end up buying the Clionadh one because I just didn't want to spend $85 on one palette. I mean, yes, it was like 70 something, but then plus shipping would have been another like $15. And that's why I haven't picked up. I'll pick up an Ensley Rain palette because they have a payment plan, and I just find that Ensley Rain is a little bit more worth the money to me because you get so many eyeshadows in the palette, even though I don't know how much is actually in there because I had already hit pan on one of the shadows in the Cold Moon palette. So I feel like there's less product than they actually tell you. I'm not really sure, but it's not like I'm really going to hit pan anytime soon on any of the other shades, to be honest. But I just didn't find that Clionadh was going to be worth buying. I just didn't want to spend the money. Like, honestly, the color stories didn't convince me enough to get them because I feel like I'm just not going to use them often enough. I find that the palettes that are colorful that I use the most are half colorful, half neutral. Like, but I was still going to get the Pokemon palette regardless, but since I didn't really have a rainbow palette in my collection, it made sense for me to get it. And then after we went to the DMV, I did get my nails done, and I got like this minty green chrome, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I think it looks so good. Even though I did do lime green a couple weeks back, I just really wanted to do this kind of color, and it looks so cool with like the peach chrome. Love it. It looks so good. And then I just went into the Makeup Forever liner in the shade Limitless Brown. And also, like, some of the nail ladies, like, kind of appreciate when I do, like, the more fun colors. Because, like, so many people come in, like, so many girls, and, like, even... I get, like, that older women want, like, lighter colors because maybe they just don't want to wear a loud color. But, like, so many people want white or pink or red. And, like, red, I always get so excited when people... Or, like, tan. And I'm just like, I like doing the fun, loud colors in the summertime. I love doing overly ambitious nail colors because they're just fun. And then I went into the ColourPop Level Up mascara on the top and bottom lashes. But if that's what you want, you do you. Like, I'm not criticizing you, but, like, because do whatever makes you happy. But I'm just saying, like, step out of your comfort zone a little bit. It really is fun. So I just went in with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my foundation, I don't think I'm going to keep this anymore because I think it's bad. But, like, I've used up most of it, and it's only, like, $6, so it's not like it's really a waste of money. I went into the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator because I haven't used this in a hot second. Because I've been using the Beauty Blender one so often, and when I don't use that one, I'm either wearing the Kulfi Concealer just all over my face, or I'm wearing the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer or the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. Those have been the three that I've been rotating the most this summer. But I haven't went into this one in a while, and I think this one and the Urban Decay one are bad, but I've also had these probably like 2 years at this point, so I think I do need to declutter these. And again, it's not a huge deal because I did use them a ton. And then for my concealer, I went into the Tower 28 concealer in the shade BH. And after I declutter those two, I'm probably going to repurchase the Tower 28 one because I really miss using that one. And out of all the tinted moisturizers that I've tried, my top three are the ColourPop, the Beauty Blender, and the Tower 28. And I love the Cali Ray one too. Those are like my top four. I really love the Urban Decay one too, but I'd rather repurchase the Tower 28 one because that one's a little bit more lightweight. And I really like using it with the Tower 28 concealer. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Color Sticks Bronze Sticks stick bronzer. Why am I saying stick foundation? In the shade Laguna Beach. And then for my blush, I probably should have used a different blush, but I honestly didn't feel like getting up. And I've had this one in front of me for a while, and it's just such a good blush. So I just went into the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush in the shade Pretty Peach. I hadn't used it in a couple of weeks, so I decided to use it today. And then for my highlight, I went into the Amrezy highlighter by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I haven't used this in a hot second. I used to use this religiously, so I just wanted to use it today. And then I set my face with the Rare Beauty setting spray. I did not set my brows, but honestly, I think I'm going to have to go... I actually need to get brow gel tomorrow, because I might try and find a different one, because I feel like the ColourPop one just dries out so quickly. And I think the last time I purchased it, I had gotten two, because I think it was like buy one, get one half on like all eye products from ColourPop from Ulta. So I ended up getting two. But I find that it only lasts like a couple weeks, and I feel like it's dried out already. I feel like the e.l.f. one does last longer, but I like going in with just a clear one for the daytime, or if I just see my boyfriend. So, like, for my lip gloss, I went into the ColourPop So Glassy lip gloss in the shade Infinite because I just wanted an easy gloss. And also, I used to wear that gloss a lot last summer, so I finally went back into it today. Oh my god, like, I sound like such a valley girl. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, like I said, I did finish the first book in the Magnolia Parks series yesterday. I finished it last night. It's called Magnolia Parks. And I finished it, I think, a little bit before 11 p.m. So I actually finished it before I normally do, like, my bedtime stuff, like watch YouTube or watch Desperate Housewives. I'm still watching Desperate Housewives, by the way. I know I haven't updated you guys about that in a while, but I'm still watching it because if I can't put a book down, then I usually won't watch it. But I've been watching like an episode a night the past like couple of weeks now. So I'm halfway through season 6 and it's just so good. I love it so much. I love it so much. Like, I never want it to end at this point because I'm so used to watching it now. But that's like really been the only show I've watched. And also I watched all of season 3 of The Bear with my mom. So it's not like I'm not watching shows, but like if I'm not watching a show with her, then I'll usually just watch a show myself steadily for like over the course of a couple of months because like I'm usually reading 99% of the time. But after I've hit like my reading goal during the day, then I'll just read more if I feel like it, or if I'm too tired, then I'll just watch Desperate Housewives or watch YouTube. So I absolutely loved this book so much, you guys. I cried my freaking eyes out. It was a 5-star for me for the first book, and I know most people rate the first one lower, but I don't care. I loved it. She is such a fantastic writer. Like, the way that she just wrote Magnolia and BJ's characters, you literally felt like you were just going through their entire toxic relationship with them. And I also love how, like I've said before, my favorite kind of authors and also my favorite kind of shows are shows that make you cry your eyes out and then 5 minutes later you're laughing again. Because I find that that's such an incredible talent when it comes to a good writer. Because obviously in shows you have to have good writers in order for them to be able to do that to the viewer. And also the reader, reading good writing. Hello. So that's how I felt about this book. But I had to stop for like 5 minutes. Because there was one part that literally I just felt like my heart was breaking in two for them. But I also felt like the entire time, once Magnolia and BJ were back to being happy and back being together, you always knew that something was going to happen to fuck it up. And it's like that kind of happened towards the end of the book. And I'm like, when is it going to be fucked up again? And it did. It just was fucked up in the last like 10 pages. And this is not really a spoiler because like pretty much everybody knows. If they haven't read the books, they know about their toxic relationship, or if you've read the synopsis or reviews or whatever. But I absolutely loved it. The flow, the pace, the writing was fantastic. I took so many screenshots and so many pictures of the quotes in this book because some of it was so beautifully written. And I just haven't found a book like that since Summer Romance. So I'm really happy that I finally found my second 5-star this month because I did not want to put this book down. And yesterday I could not go to sleep without finishing this book last night, even though I didn't sleep last night anyway. But I absolutely loved it. It was so good. So now my whole world is just Magnolia Parks right now. I'm obsessed with it. But I might take a break from it this weekend, but I immediately jumped into the second book as soon as I finished the first one. So this one is called Daisy Hates, and I'm actually on page 112 already. I actually read quite a bit today. And then I listened to a couple chapters when I was getting ready. So I think I read probably like 70-ish pages, and then I just listened to the rest of it. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I love this one as much as the first one already because it is a bit slower pace, and it's like 3 POVs. It's Christian, Julian, and Daisy's POVs. Daisy should be first because obviously it's called Daisy Hates, but whatever. But actually I've been really enjoying the audiobook of this too because it's 3 different voices for all 3 characters. And I'm trying not to listen too much on Spotify Premium because I don't want to use up my listening hours before I get to the 5th book, because the 5th book is 700 pages. And I would like to listen to that quite a bit while I'm reading it at the same time. But I'm probably going to be finished with this one probably by Friday afternoon. I'm going to read as much as possible tomorrow night because I have like a bunch of stuff that I need to do tomorrow. that I need to run errands, but I'm definitely going to read it tonight, obviously. But I'm so glad that I'm already through the first 100 pages. This one is like 60 pages longer than the first one. This one's like 494 pages. So they're not short books, but honestly, like, you don't feel like you're reading a long book because you just want to find out more about them. And again, like, the writing is simple enough that you can just fly through it. So they don't feel long at all, to be honest. But after this one, the next couple of books kind of intimidate me because they are longer. So I'm going to go because I'm hungry, and yeah, rant over, but I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I love Magnolia and BJ so much. They're like in my top favorite couples of all time right now. It's going to be really hard to beat them with other books that I read, but I absolutely freaking loved it. So yeah, that's it. Bye. So hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I got home around like almost 5 o'clock today because I had like a few things to do. I had to go to a gastroenterologist this morning because it was like 12:30, so it wasn't like that early. Because like I've just been having like problems. So did that, and then went to the bookstore that's in that part of my town. Like, I don't go there regularly. I go there like I go regularly, but like maybe every 2 weeks or so because or like once a month. I think this is like maybe only the second time I've been there this month, and I don't plan to go back until like next month. So I like checking out their used book section there, and I did get a couple of used books actually, and maybe I'll show you guys at the end. And then I went to get food, so I decided to get McDonald's for myself, and then I went to go get a haircut. Finally, oh my god, my hair feels so much lighter and so much better and bouncier. I just had so much hair, and it was like annoying the shit out of me, so I'm so glad I finally got it cut. And I just bought a couple things at Ulta, nothing crazy, just a new brow gel, the glitter glue finally, and one of the new ColourPop liquid blushes, because I actually did really want to try one of these, so I'll probably just try that tomorrow. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Clarins Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I just went back into the Golden Hour palette by ColourPop as well, because I just really love using this for an everyday look, and I just did a really light, easy, neutral look. So I went into Love the Vibes in the crease, and I darkened up the crease more with Views, and then I used Far Off on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went into Honey Dipped, and that's all I did. I think I forgot to put on a brow bone highlight today, but it's fine. Oh, and then for the inner corners, I just went into Glimmer. And that's everything I used from that. Actually, I think I did go in with Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. And I just went into the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Brown. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I feel like my blush kind of faded a little, so I guess we can rejuvenate it really quick. I'm literally about to take my makeup off though, but it's like, what the fuck happened there? And then I went into the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One. And then for my concealer, I went into the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser in the shade 95 Ivory. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I just went into the Milani Dolce bronzer again. And then for my blush, I just went into a combo of these two blushes from this ColourPop palette. So this is the Sugar Frosted palette. I don't think they make this anymore, so I'm not even going to say what shades they are because I don't think you can get this anymore. And then for my highlight, I just used the coinciding highlighter in here, and then I set my face with the Do It Spray again, and then I set my brows, well, actually the Rare Beauty setting spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. But I did put in the LA Girl one that I bought today after I got home. And I find that this is better. I mean, it makes my lashes a little bit harder, but now, I mean, not lashes, my brows. But now I feel like it actually stays in place. So that's good, and it's like only $5. And then for my lips, I just went into the ColourPop Luxe lipstick in the shade Appy, and that's everything I use as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, like I said, I'm still reading Daisy Hates, the second book in the Magnolia Parks series, and I'm on page 268. I'm planning to hopefully binge this tonight, because after this I really don't have any plans, and I really would just like to read for the rest of the night. But I don't know, I'm still not too into this one. I'm kind of finding myself like getting annoyed with Daisy and Christian's banter and fights. They're just like not really interesting me that much. I don't know what it is. I hope this doesn't put me into a reading slump, because I don't want to read this. I just want to read something else right now. Because there's so many other books that I could be reading, but at the same time, I just really do want to complete this series. So that was still my goal. So we're just going to binge it tonight. It's not like it's bad. I just don't find myself really caring about Christian and Daisy as much as I cared about Magnolia and BJ, because their story was so deeply emotional for me. Every time I think about that book, it's just, my heart like hurts a little bit, because it was just so beautiful, but in the most like devastating kind of way, because you know that they both like love each other so much, but there were so many reasons why they shouldn't be together. So it was just such a good book. Okay, so as far as the used books that I got today, I got Kara Hunter's Murder in the Family, because I've actually been eyeing this one at Target for a while, and this one was $9.99 there, so I got that one. Very excited for that. And then I also got this one. I didn't even see this one in the beginning when I was looking around, and I didn't see this until like the second time I came around to these shelves. And this one is called The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. I'm actually really excited for this one too. I've heard really good things about this one. I don't even know what it's about, but it is on my TBR. This one was $9.50, so these ones were still a little bit pricier, but the full price is $19.99, so I'd rather support this local bookstore for cheaper used books than buying them for probably the same price on Amazon. When does Jeff Bezos need any more money? No. So he has money for like 20 lifetimes. And then the other two books that I got were up here, because I already put them on my shelf, because I think I'm going to read both of these hopefully next month. I know I'm reading one of them next month, definitely. But I finally picked up my first TJ Klune book, and this one is called Under the Whispering Door. And what was crazy is that this was the only one that was priced as used at that store, because all the other copies that they had of this book and also his other books that they carried were all full price except for this one. So I was like, you're coming home with me. So it was only $6. And what's crazy is that I just saw somebody post about this book yesterday on the book forum the Facebook group that I'm part of. A forum. Who does forums anymore besides like Reddit and Fortune? But anyway, I just saw somebody post about it on the Facebook group I'm on, and they said that this was their favorite book of all time. So I'm like, that's a big claim. So it just makes me more intrigued to finally start reading some of his books, because then I really want to read House of the Cerulean Sea and In the Lives of Puppets, and everybody says they love his books. Like, I haven't really seen anybody not like them, so I'm super excited for this one, and I'm also excited to be starting with this one. And then the last one I picked up was just like I did want to pick up another romance book, and I wanted to pick up a summer romance. So I found this one, and it's called 15 Summers Later by Rhiannon Thane. And I think I possibly heard of the title, but I never heard of the author. I don't know if somebody talked about this or maybe I just saw it randomly on Goodreads. But this one was only $8.99, so I was like, ooh, summer romance, and it's in great condition, so... But I found this one and Murder in the Family in that section that I've never browsed before. I don't know why I haven't looked over there before, but I thought that it was part of like a full price section on the same wall, but it said half price on new releases. So I was like, ooh, so I got both of those. I think this one is a 2024 release. But I looked up the reviews of this before I bought it, and it got a really high rating on Goodreads. Anything that's 4 and above on Goodreads is a good book. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm pretty low energy because, again, I'm just not sleeping well. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but, yeah. So, it hasn't been great. I'm just really tired. So, I just worked today. So I prime my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I use the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder, and then for my eyeshadow, I use the Glamonatrix Cosmetics Rich Romantic palette, and then just like 2 shades from the other Glamonatrix palette, but I'm just going to tell you guys what I used from this palette first. So I went in with like 4 shades from this. I used, Admire in the crease, and then I just used Passion on the outer corners, and then for the lid I used Captivating, and then for the brow bone I used Intoxicating. So I used those 4 shades, and I love this palette, so I like using this as much as I can, and also I hadn't used it in a hot second, but also like I didn't think I was going to get as much use out of this as I did, and I've been using it a lot. It's probably like one of my most used palettes this year, to be honest. And then I just went into the Rich Romantic palette, like besides the 2 Ensley Rain palettes, that Glamonatrix palette, and the ColourPop Golden Sun palette. Those are like my 4 most used palettes this year. I keep on going back to them because they're just so good. And then I went into Untouched to define the crease from this palette. And then I just went into the signature shade Nearly Natural on the inner corners. And I really like how it turned out. I always love my looks when I use these palettes. And then for my waterline, I just went into the LA Girl liner in the shade White. And then I just went into the Essence Lash Primer. And then for my lashes, I just went into the Lancome Hypnose Drama Mascara. And then I went into the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, of course. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation in the shade 00. I hadn't used this in quite a while, so I wanted to use it today. And then for my concealer, I went into my Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 10NN. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Dior bronzer in the shade 04 Tan Bronze. And then for my blush, I actually did go into the ColourPop Liquid Blush that I got. And I actually really, really like it. This is the Weightless Liquid Blush in the shade Thanks, like THX, like abbreviated like a text message thanks. I think you guys know that. But for those of you that don't. And yeah, I really like how it lasted. It might have faded a little bit, but it applied really, really nicely. I think this applies better than the one from Haus Labs. I actually think I like this more because it's more pigmented. And then for my highlight, I went in, and I thought that this was more nude, but of course it's not. It's like a nude pink, like a nude mauve. Like I really wish that some brands would just make a straight up nudish blush, because I feel like everything that's nude is like nude mauve. So I think that's what I said yesterday. And then for my highlight, I went into the JD Glow Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Cold as Ice. And it's just such a beautiful, like, icy pink highlighter. And then I set my face with the... Where did I put my lipstick? I thought I just took it out. with the Milk Makeup setting spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Oh, I didn't take it out yet. And then for my lips, I went into the MAC and Patrick Star Lippy in the shade She Better Work. It's just one of my favorite frosty pinks. You can't even get this anymore, but it's just such a pretty pink. And that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I did finish the second book in the Magnolia Parks series, Daisy Hates. Actually this morning, because I actually read a crap ton last night. I listened to a few chapters, but I think physically I read probably like 150 pages or so. And I got up to page like 470. So then I only had the remaining 20 pages to read this morning. So I finished it. And I didn't love this one, but I think I said this before, that this is like pretty much everybody's least favorite one in the series, unless like, you know, you love that one. But like for me, I just like couldn't really connect to Daisy and Christian's story as much as I could with Magnolia and BJ. But also I've heard that the fourth book, which is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, is like one of the best in the series, or most people's favorite, along with the one that I'm reading. Like pretty much this one and the fourth one and the fifth one just get better and better and better. So I jumped into the third one right away, literally this morning, as soon as I finished Daisy Hates, because of course I couldn't sleep. But I read like maybe the first 20 pages then, because I was getting too sleepy, but of course I couldn't fall asleep. So this one is Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, and I'm on page 155 already, because I read quite a bit today. I probably read like maybe 70-ish, 80-ish pages. I don't even know, because I listened to quite a lot of it today. Because this one's like a beefy book. It's like almost 600 pages. It's 585 pages. So I'm maybe a quarter of the way through. And I am absolutely obsessed with this one. I literally just don't want to put it down. It's just been so good so far. And honestly, we're getting so many answers about why Magnolia and BJ are the way that they are with each other, and why they have the type of relationship that they do. And I'm eating that up. And Magnolia's like back from disappearing after the first book. And you just want to see what's going to happen with Magnolia and BJ now, and I'm eating it up. I almost cried at work when I was reading this one part, because it was just so sad. But I'm like, I'm at work. I can't cry right now. But, so yeah, it's just been really good. I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. I've seen most people give this one 5 stars. I feel like this one and the next two are just going to be all 5-star for me. I'm just so obsessed with Magnolia and BJ's relationship. I just find it so, fascinating, but also like, I used up my freaking Spotify premium hours yesterday listening to one of the chapters in Daisy Hates. Oh, I gave Daisy Hates a 4 out of 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars because I found myself getting a little bit bored with their relationship. And also, like I said, I felt myself like kind of like not really caring too much. And I feel like the last like 100 pages were kind of like dumb. I just felt like it was written by a completely different author. Like, it didn't really flow the same way as the first book did, and how this one is. Even though this one is longer, I feel like I'm just completely captivated and consumed by this book, that like it's flying by when I'm reading it, because this one just flows so much better again, and it feels just like I'm reading the first book again. So like, I don't know, like with the second book, I just didn't really care about Julian's story, and also Christian and Daisy kind of felt a little bit repetitive to what Magnolia and BJ did in the first book. Like, I feel like it was almost a copy and paste of what happened with Magnolia and BJ, but just add mafia and killings to it. And nobody really like died that was really like that significant, because I feel like I thought it was going to be a little bit darker than the first book, but it wasn't because like I found myself not really caring that much. So yeah, I still gave it a 4 stars because I'm so biased about this series already because I love it so much already. And now I understand why everyone loves it so much. I feel like I'm going to be exactly halfway through the series as soon as I get pretty much halfway through this book because then after that I have 2 more books. But yeah, I used up my Spotify listening hours and damn it. I hate when I do that. And at least I had an Audible credit for this month, so I just got that book on Audible with my credit because I already have the next Boys of Tommen book, Redeeming Six, after I finished Saving Six. I just haven't finished it yet because I've been listening to Magnolia Parks pretty much this whole week on Spotify Premium and now also on Audible. So I might have to read the 4th book physically, like completely, because that one is actually 100 pages shorter than this one. So I probably should be able to get through that one physically. And then the last one, I'm going to have to get on Audible because that one is like 700 pages. So I just like listening to it while I'm getting ready. And also then I can get through more of the book. But also like I don't want to stop reading it when I'm doing anything else. Like, all I can do is think about Magnolia and BJ. Like, all day today, that's all I was thinking about. I'm like, I can't wait to go home and read. I can't wait to go home and read more about their story because it's just consuming me. Like, I just love it so much. People were right about this series. It's literally crack. Like, it's just I'm eating it up. I love it so much. And I just want to get to the end of this because I just want to see what happens with Magnolia and BJ. Like, I haven't felt this obsessed with a good book in a while. Because honestly, like, I haven't really read, like, amazing books this month. Like, pretty much this series has been, like, the only thing that's been, like, consuming me. Because, like, the last book that I felt about that way, I mean, this month was Summer Romance. Like, none of the other books that I've read this month, I've been, like, completely obsessed with, and I'm, like, dying to know what happens to the characters besides this series. So, maybe a series was exactly what I needed right now, because this was on my TBR for this month. I just wasn't sure if I was going to start it this week or next week, but I'm so glad that I started it this week, because I'm already on the 3rd book, 1, and 2, I knew it would take me almost 2 weeks to finish it, which is like literally no time for me because I went from reading 0 books to 90 books this year, and I'm gonna hit 100 books next month. So I think that's absolutely fucking crazy. I would have hit it this month if I didn't read Magnolia Parks this month because the books are so long, but again, I just feel like I'm flying through them, but I'm hoping to see if like Audible has like an audiobook sale again, because I got Serpents of the Wings of Night and Ashes of the Star-Cursed King on Audible. Even though they were available on Kindle Unlimited, I ended up enjoying the audiobooks so much that I mostly just listened to both because I loved the voices. But with those 2, I got them during like a Father's Day sale where Audible was putting like the books up for like 80% off. And I got the first one for like $3 and the second one for like $6. So that's the most that I've paid for an audiobook was $6 so far, because I've just been using my Audible credits every month. You know, as soon as I complete one audiobook, then I'll just wait for the next credit to be available. But since, again, these books are so long, I really would like to listen to them while I'm getting ready, but also, like, it just consumes my every thought that I don't want to stop. So at least I can listen to this one, and then hopefully I'll finish this one by, like, Monday, I'm guessing. But I feel like it's definitely going to take me at least 2 more days. I mean, it's only the first day today, but I feel like I'm going to get possibly halfway through because I'm literally obsessed and I don't want to stop reading it. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I just wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for yesterday, because I actually did not leave the house today, because I am just exhausted from yesterday. I did finish a book already, so because that's literally all I wanted to do today was finish the book that I'm currently reading, and I'm literally in shock on how good it was, but also like that ending was mind-blowing. So I went to the Queen Zoo yesterday with my best friend, and then also we went to the Museum of Science, but honestly, like, it wasn't really that great. It's kind of like a kids museum. We didn't really know this before we went there, but we really need to go to the one in natural history because we really want to go to the science museum there and also the planetarium. So we're probably just going to do that next time we're in the city, which will, I don't know, be like a couple of weeks from now. Because I didn't realize after today, I have like plans for the rest of the week. Well, I did realize that, so that's why I'm happy I didn't go anywhere today. And it's actually been marvelous. So, yeah. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette yesterday, I just decided to go into the Ensley Rain Cold Moon palette, because like I kind of miss using my Ensley Rain palettes right now, so I kind of wanted to go back into it. And I like combined some of the peachy shades with like the grayer tone shade. So I went into Winter Rose in the crease, and then I darkened up the crease more with Garnet, and then I used Mother's Night on the outer corners because I knew those would be like really pigmented mattes for me to use. And then I went into Storm Fairy all over the lid, and then I used Mauja on the brow bone. And what did I use on the inner corners? I think I went in with Wolf Moon. This one is so stunning on the inner corners. But yeah, this lasted like pretty much all day. And it didn't really crease. It creased like a tiny bit here, but you couldn't see like a gap because it was like right here. So it lasted pretty well most of the day. So I was actually pretty impressed. And then for my waterline, I just went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Black, and then I went into the Essence Lash Primer on the top lashes, and then I went into the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara on the top lashes, and the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I just went into my Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation in the shade 120N. And then for my concealer, I went into the Tarte C Concealer in the shade 8S Porcelain Sand, and then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into, I think I used the Dior one. The Dior Forever Bronzer in the shade Natural Bronze. I just felt like using that. Or was it the House Labs? I can't remember. Maybe it was the House Labs one. It might have been Light Level 1. I don't remember which one it was. Probably whichever one that was the most pigmented. And then for my blush, I went into the Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment blush in the shades She's Sincere, because I just wanted to go into a nude blush. And then for my highlight, I went into the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. I feel like I get like highlight blackout sometimes when I pick out a highlighter, because it's like I never know what highlighter to use anymore at this point. But I used these, and they were really pretty, so I just went into Sparks and Mesmerize, and I just mixed those together. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, we did a lot yesterday, though. We didn't just stop at, wait, I think it's actually in my other bag, because I used my other bag yesterday. I was potentially going to see my boyfriend today, but he never actually let me know if I could see him today because he wasn't sure if he was going to work or not. He texted me like hours ago, and then he stopped answering me at like 2, so I figured he just like passed out. So I'm seeing him tomorrow anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then for my lips, I went into the Pat McGrath Labs lip liner in the shade Structure, and then the Lime Crime Velveteen in the shade Lulu. So everything I used as far as my makeup goes, and then as far as a reading update goes, like I said, I finished Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home today. I finished it at like 4 something. I had like 60 something pages to read. I sat down at like, not until like 2:40, but then my dog was scratching at my door at like 3:30, so I had to go walk him because he was like, bitch, why aren't you walking me right now? It's just so funny. Like, he's been having to go to the bathroom a lot more frequently because he's been taking this medication that's been making him like really thirsty, but also, since I said before, I don't know if I said that he's totally fine, like he doesn't not have lymphoma, but we were all worried for a minute about it, obviously. But he's totally fine, and his appetite has just been so rabid lately that like he just wants to, he's becoming like our other dog now because she's such a beggar, Luna, my Looney Boonies. But Watson has always been like the calmer, like chiller one, but now he's like getting more like clockwork with his routine. Like, dogs obviously love routine, but he never used to like beg the way that he does now. But it's not like we don't feed him at the same time every day, or we don't walk him when he needs to be walked. So it was just so cute because I actually had my headphones in and I was trying to finish the book, and then I heard a scratching noise at my door, and I was like, what's up, buddy? And he's like just standing there, and I was like, okay, I guess you need to go outside. So it was just really funny. So anyway, yeah, so I finished the book, Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. So that's the 3rd book in the series. So, and I'm kind of in shock. Like, just, I don't really know how to feel about the ending because it's so just shocking. Like, oh my God. Like, I cried like a couple of times, but I actually didn't cry during the last few pages because my jaw was just on the floor the entire time. And this series is amazing. Like, but I knew I was going to love this book from like beginning to end. There was some stupid situations, but like honestly, with Magnolia and BJ, they're kind of like really stupid in love, but like they are just so addicting to read about, and like all you want to know is whether or not they end up together. And it was amazing. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because it's just, I could not put it down, and I can't believe I finished it in 2.5 days. I think I started it on Friday night, or actually I started it Friday morning, and I read like over 200 pages on Friday. And then yesterday I think it was on like 2:30 something, and then I got up to 4:30 something. So that was almost, I don't think I read 200 pages yesterday. I think it was over 150 pages, but it was still a lot. Because I listened to some, and also like somehow I got up to page 435. Did I get up to page 300 on the first day? I might have. I can't remember. I know I read less yesterday, but I got up to a point where, because I read some this morning, and then I was on page like 460-ish or 470, and then by the time I sat back down, because I had listened to like a couple of chapters as well, I only had like 70 pages left. So I really thought it was going to take me all day today to finish this book, but from where I was, like when I started reading today, I got through it pretty quickly. So, and it was amazing. It was just so good. There was just like some parts where Magnolia and BJ are like, something tragic happens to one of them, and they're both like saying about each other like how much they love each other, and like the way that she describes like just like the simple things that you would think about if like your life is in danger was just so beautifully written that like that made me cry. That was like the part that really made me cry. So yeah, I knew I was gonna cry at some point. I was like, maybe I won't cry in this one, but now of course I did. But at the ending, I was just in shock. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I need to take a break. I was like, I'm like literally in general shock right now. Like, that ending was insane. And hopefully, we find out what happens to this character in this book. Because I'm going to be kind of pissed if we don't. But I also have heard that this is like the best book in the series, or most people's favorite. So I'm going to go into the fourth book, which is Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. But I can't believe I'm already on the fourth book. And I think I started this series on Sunday. So I think it's been a week since I've finished all three of the first books, but it's only taken me a week to finish all three. I mean, it's a lot of writing. Like they're not short books, but like you like literally can't put them down. But like this one is 100 pages shorter than the one I just read. So this one hopefully I'll be finished with by Wednesday. Or probably sooner, probably Tuesday, because today's Sunday and I'm going to start it probably after dinner. Well, actually, I'm going to start it now because my mom went out to pick up the food. So we usually have sushi every Sunday night. So I got chicken teriyaki though, because that's what I wanted. Even though I haven't really been hungry today because I walked so far yesterday and so much. I don't think I've walked that much in like a long time. Probably since like Comic-Con. But I'm so excited to start this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go because I want to start it, and probably just going to read for the rest of the night after this too, because I really do want to get very far into this book. I was thinking about like binging like a thriller or something, but no, all I want to do is read this series. Like, I have to finish this series to find out what the fuck happens. And I know the last book is going to take me quite a while to get through, but I honestly don't care if this is like the only books that I read for the rest of the month, because all I care about is Magnolia and BJ. So, like, it's my whole world right now. Like, I do not care about reading any other book right now. I hope I don't go into a book hangover, though, after reading this series. I feel like probably people do. But I'll probably just either read a thriller or, like, a summer romance. But I think I'm going to need a thriller to like read like the exact opposite, because it's like a long ass crazy toxic romance story that I'm like, I probably don't want to read a romance for a little while and just read a thriller, and then I really want to read a romantasy. So because I think I'm going to read A Fate Inked in Blood after that too. I really want to read What Lies Between Us on my Kindle. I think if I read a Kindle read after this series, it'll kind of be a bit more of a refresher, because I feel like I've read so many physical books this month. This is the most physical books I've read in like a couple of months, because like I had my Frida McFadden phase last month, and then I read quite a few Kindle books the month before. But I only read Reckless on my Kindle this month because I really wanted to read a lot of my physical books this month, and I've read 10 so far. It would have been more if I wasn't reading Magnolia Parks, but by the time I finish Magnolia Parks, it'll be 12, so. But yeah, that's it. But yesterday was so much fun, and then after that, we went to, like, this night market that was, like, literally right next to the museum that we didn't even know that it was going on, and it was free entry, and it was, like, all this, like, amazing food that you can get in the city, and I'm like, we're just gonna eat here for dinner, because we ate at the zoo for lunch because they have like this little food truck like right smack in the middle of the zoo. So we just ate there, and then we ate at the festival for dinner, and it was so good. I love food festivals like that. And then we didn't have to go into Queens and find somewhere to park and eat. It was just so much easier eating there. It was awesome. And then after that, because city parking is horrible and you have to pay like $1 million like in the meter. And then after that, we went back to the island, and well, we walked in the park after that. We actually walked all through Queens Park after that, and it's beautiful, and like the Unisphere is there, so it was like such a good time. And then we went back to the island, and he wanted to go to IKEA, so we went there. And then I also took him to this Asian mart that's right next to IKEA here that I've been wanting to take him to like forever. And he's like, we're going to come here every single time we're at this mall. I'm like, I told you, it's amazing. So it was just so much fun. It was a great day. And I got some snacks there and everything. So yeah, we had a great time. So that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I'm going to see my boyfriend. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Clarins Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. I don't know why I used a lip oil, though, because I just went in with another lip oil, but whatever, for my lip color. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I just went back into the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette, because I haven't worn this shirt in a while, and I really like wearing it with this palette, because, like, the colors just go so well. So I just went into Down to Earth in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more I used Untouched in the crease, and then I went into Down to Earth to define the crease, and then for the outer corners I used Naturally, and then for the lid I used Exposed, and then for the inner corners I used the signature shade again, which is Nearly Natural. I just used like 2 shades from this palette earlier this week. But today I wanted to use it fully because I really like those colors. And I just went into the Makeup by Mario liner in the shade Brown because the liner that I was using from ColourPop just wasn't really showing up. So I just went into a brown liner. I really have to organize my liners in my desk at some point. Like, all I did was like read all day yesterday. So it's just, I just needed to relax yesterday because I was so freaking tired from Saturday that I didn't even leave the house. So, and then I went into the ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then I washed my hair today because my hair was not that clean, even though I got a haircut. But I got a new shampoo and conditioner and my hair definitely feels a lot cleaner. So yeah, and I blow dry it and everything. And then for my foundation, I went into the Beauty Blender Bound Skin Tint in the shade Light 1. And then for my concealer, I used the Kulfi Concealer in the shade Bad Badum. And then I set my under eyes with the House Loud powder. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop Matte Bronzer in the shade Alviva Beach. And then for my blush, I just went into the ColourPop Liquid Blush again, in the shade Thanks. I really do like this one, so I just went into that. And then for my highlight, I went into the ColourPop highlighter as well. I almost used ColourPop for my eyeshadow, but I think I'm going to do that maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. This is the shade Your Catch, so I just used that, and then I set my face with the Rare Beauty spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. The Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lip oil, I just went into the Summer Fridays one in the shade Dream Lip Oil in the shade Blush Dreams. I love this one so much. It's just such a nice one. And that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I did start the Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, the 4th book in the Magnolia Parks series last night. I'm up to page 167, so I actually got pretty far, and I've just been reading this. I haven't been listening to it as well. Also, this one's shorter than the one before this and the one after it, so this one's not going to take me as long to read it. But I'm just finding myself not really caring too much because I didn't really care about Daisy in the second book. I only really cared about the characters that they were connected to Magnolia and BJ in some way. I just love Magnolia and BJ so much more. I just feel like their relationship is too like copy and paste of what Magnolia and BJ's relationship is. And it's like, I don't know, I'm just bored. I just don't really find myself caring too much about Daisy and Christian. The only thing that I do care about in this book, there was like one shocking moment, but that was about it. The only thing that I care about in this book is Julian's point of view with Magnolia, because the timelines do line up with each other, which I really enjoy about this series, is that we find we are seeing, other things that have taken place in Magnolia and BJ's story before this through Daisy and Christian and Julian's eyes. But again, I don't really care about Daisy and Christian's relationship half as much as I do about Magnolia and BJ. I just find them really boring to me. But I'm still going to finish it. So we're going to probably finish this by tomorrow night, because then I have to start like the Bible length long Into the Dark. So that one's going to take me quite a bit to get through. And then I am actually almost done with Saving Six, which is the third book in the Boys of Tommen series. And I only have like 25 minutes left in the audiobook, so I will finish that by tonight. Because I'll probably just listen to it on the way home. I might even listen to it going to his house. I'm not sure yet. Just usually like it's a little bit crazy like driving to him, because like traffic is ridiculous. So I might just listen to it on the way home and just finish it tonight, because again, I only have 25 minutes left, so I'm definitely finishing it. And I just find myself caring about Aoife and Joey so much more than I do about Daisy and Christian, because Joey and Aoife's story takes place at the same time as Johnny and Shannon's story does in the first two books. But this is just from Joey and Aoife's perspective, and you get like so much more from the story from their perspective. I'm not saying that you're not getting like some bits and pieces of information from Daisy and Christian, but it's just not enough for me. And like I said, I just feel like Daisy and Christian are too much of a copy and paste of what Magnolia and BJ's relationship is. Even if like in the like narration is like almost the same. But like I don't find myself caring as much. Even like the similar situations with their siblings right now is just too similar that I find myself being bored. But I don't know. Everybody said this is like one of their favorites in the series, and so far I don't feel that way for me. I'm just not really that into it. I stopped reading it today. I read like 50 pages. I should be up to page like 3 something by tonight. That's all I'm going to do when I get home is read. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I went and saw Inside Out with 2 of my friends, and it was really cute. It was really good. It was actually a good day to see a movie because it was kind of rainy out today, and we didn't really have any other plans today, and I've been wanting to see this movie for a while, and I liked it. We went and got Fridays before that, and then we went to the movie, and then we just went to a couple of stores after the movie, and it was fun. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the, I think I used the Clarins lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder, and then for my eyeshadow palette, I just went into the Nomad Okavango Safari palette. Hold on one second. And I went into mostly the shadows down here. So I went into this shade in the crease. I'm not going to pronounce them because I'll butcher the names. Then I darkened up the crease more with this like tealish gray shade. And then I used the dark brown on the outer corners. And then I went into the green all over the lid, and it just looked really pretty. Because I wanted to pick up a little bit of like the gold and green on the shirt. And then for the inner corners, I used the silver shade. And that one's called Migrating Zebras. So at least I can say that one. And then I went into Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I actually went into an oldie but a goodie. I don't know if I need to get rid of this though, but it looks pretty good still on my skin. So this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I don't know how old this is. I probably should get rid of it, but it's in the shade Fair 05W, and I forgot like how good it looks on my skin. And then for my concealer, I went into my older Cover FX Power Play concealer in the shade N Fair 2. I think this one's pretty old though, and it doesn't really look that great at the end of the day, so I'm probably gonna have to get rid of that one. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Lapse powder, and then I set my face with the... Actually, I didn't even set my face because my face was a little bit too dry after I put this the foundation on, so I didn't even set my face because I really didn't need to. So I just didn't put any setting powder on. Because since I have like dry skin, like I don't necessarily need to set my foundation all the time. I just like putting it on because my like bronzer, blush, and highlight goes on smoother if I set my face. But other than that, like I don't necessarily need to do it. And then I went into the Makeup by Mario black liner on my waterline. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer. And then for my mascara, I went into the Benefit Fan Fest one. I tried to go into a different one, so I used that one. And then I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then for my bronzer, I actually went into my Pat McGrath Labs bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. And then for my blush, I wanted to go back into one of my M Cosmetics blushes. So this is the Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush in the shade Persimmon. I love this one. It's just such a beautiful, like, vibrant, orangey, glowy blush. I love it. And then for my highlight, I just went into my Gimme Glow Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Halo because it's amazing and it's super blinding and I love it. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup setting spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Brow Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into my Half Magic Beauty lip combo. This is the Sculpture Crayon Lip Liner Duo. And I went into the darker one, I believe, which is the shade Hot Potato. And it's kind of like a darker brownish, warmish color. Warmish brown color, I mean. And then for my lips, I went into the Half Magic Beauty Lip Cloud, the Mouth Cloud, and the shade Mr. Cheeky Pants. So that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And then as far as a reading update goes, I am still reading Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I did read quite a lot today, and I did read quite a lot last night. So now I'm on page 387. So I've read like 200 and something pages over the last day and a half. Because I read like last night and during the day today. Today I read like almost 130 pages. So I read quite a lot before I went out to the movies. So I have less than 100 pages left. So I don't know if I'm going to bang it out tonight or just finish it tomorrow morning. We'll see how far we get. The plot is finally moving along a little bit more. But it's just okay. It's not really, you know, anything that's like too groundbreaking when it comes to the Magnolia Parks universe. But I'm almost done with the series, so I am really proud of myself for being almost done with it. And I wore like my Zodiac moon phase shirt. I love this one. It's just so cute. And I wore like the Leo Alex and Ani bracelet and the butterfly, because there's also a butterfly in this, and my Leo sign is on it. So I'm coordinated today. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I'm just going to my boyfriend's house today. And then tomorrow I'm working, and then Friday is actually beach day. So I'm actually going to the beach again, and I'm really excited for that. So that's going to be the bigger plans for this weekend, because after that I don't really have plans Saturday and Sunday, because my best friend actually has like a work thing, and my boyfriend usually works Saturdays and I have to work Sunday. So Saturday I might just finish the book that I'm reading right now, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Clarins Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I went into the ColourPop Malibu Barbie palette. I just wanted to use a ColourPop palette today. I don't know if I'm going to wear eyeshadow Friday to the beach, and Saturday I might not wear makeup at all, because I'm not sure if I'm just going to stay home. I mean, I am going to run a couple of errands, but nothing like too crazy. I'm just going to go to Ulta and probably get food for myself and then just go home. So, and then I went into, so for my eyeshadow, I went into Let's Go Party in the crease, and then I just took some of Zuma Beach on the outer corners. And then I used 1971 all over the lid, and then I just went into Come On the inner corners, and that's all I used. And then I just went into Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. I'm pretty hungry though, so I want to leave in the next like not even 10 minutes. And then I went into the Makeup Forever Artist Colors pencil in the shade Brown. And then I went into the Essence Lash Primer and then the Tower 28 Mascara on the top lashes and the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. Then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. I can never say that. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I went into the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Fair 1N. Like, I might just wear face makeup and concealer again. And, like, you know, some blush and highlight for the beach, because we are most likely going to be going into the water on Friday. And every single time that I go into the water at the beach, my eyeshadow is just fucked. So and then for my concealer, I went into the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in the shade 9.5, and then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder, and then for my bronzer, I went into the Makeup by Mario bronzer in the shade Light, and then for my blush, I went into the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Blush in the shade Magic Moon. I wanted to go into the Tinkerbell one today. It's such a beautiful, like, peachy one. I'm trying to use, like, different blushes and not the same 5 blushes every day, because I need to actually use my blushes, and I just, like, I'm so lazy now about my makeup sometimes, because, like, I'm reading 99% of the time, so I just use whatever freaking eyeshadow palette I want to use that I feel like using, and I don't really like overanalyze which ones I'm using enough. There's like pretty much the ones that I use a lot in the summertime, or just like staple palettes that I use all the time, or like I just go into whatever I know that it's gonna go. It's not really about like the eyeshadow palette anymore. So, and then I went into the Sunscape highlighter by M Cosmetics in the shade Clarity. I wanted to use that again. I wanted to use my M Cosmetics products again, because I haven't really used them in a while. And then I set my face with the Rare Beauty spray, and then I set my brows with the Essence Essence Brow Gel, which I've actually been really enjoying. And then for my lips, I just went into the Tower 28 lip crayon in the shade Mix, and that's all I used. I just use that lip product a lot, but it's just such a beautiful tinted product, and I use it like all the time in the summertime. I just love it so much. So yeah, that's everything as far as my makeup goes. And as far as a reading update goes, I did finish Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, the 4th book in the Magnolia Parks series, this morning, because I couldn't sleep after like 7:30. Even though I got so sleepy at like 2:30, I think I might have gotten like 3 hours of sleep. So, but I finished it, and I actually read that one completely, fully, physically, because I didn't have the audiobook to listen to during that one, and honestly, I really wish I did. So then I could have just gotten through more of it. But I finished it in 2.5 days. So I finished it pretty quickly. Because that's all I was doing, was just... I haven't even been watching Desperate Housewives lately. I've just been reading the Magnolia Parks series every night. So I haven't watched it in like a week, because I just want to read this series. Because I knew it would take up a lot of my time. So I'm like, as long as I'm like devoting my time to it, then I'm not going to watch the show until after I finish this. So I didn't really love it. I think I said before that I wasn't really obsessed with it like I am with the Magnolia Parks books. It's just, it was kind of, again, very anticlimactic at the end, and I feel like I felt the same way about the second book, but I honestly think that the Daisy Hates books just aren't really necessary. Like, it didn't really progress the plot in any sort of way, and also I just feel like this whole book was a filler book just to get to what happened at the end of the 3rd Magnolia Parks book, because, I mean, the 2nd Magnolia Parks book, but the 3rd book in the Magnolia Parks series. I'm actually reading the 3rd Magnolia Parks book now, so anyway, I'm like, you literally just delayed the whole cliffhanger ending that happened in Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home with this Daisy Hates book. And then we find out in the first like 30 pages of the 3rd Magnolia Parks book what actually happens. and we get the answer that we've been dying to get at the end of the second Magnolia Parks book. So I honestly feel like you can skip the Daisy Hates books. I read them because I spent my money on them, but honestly, I feel like if you want to get into Magnolia Parks, I really don't feel like reading the Daisy Hates books is absolutely necessary. It really doesn't add too much to the story. I honestly feel like the Daisy Hates books could have just been short novellas in between the Magnolia Parks series books. They did not have to be 485 pages long. At least they were both shorter than the Magnolia Parks books are. And they're pretty easy to read. It's not like they're hard to get through because, like, even though they're longer, like, the dialogue and everything just kind of flies by, so it doesn't really take that long to read. That's why it only took me 2.5 days to read. But at the same time, it was just disappointing. And also, this is the highest rated book in the entire series. And I'm like, I just gave it a 4. Like, I can't really rate any of them lower than 4 stars because now I have such a sentimental attachment to Magnolia and BJ. But it's like, as soon as I start reading the Magnolia Parks books again, I'm like reading Jessa Hastings' fantastic writing again. Like, honestly, there was a lot of parts in The Great Undoing that just pissed me off. And I didn't really like some of the dialogue, and it honestly, like I said, it feels like 2 completely different writers. I know some people are diehard for Daisy Hates, and a lot more people are diehard for Magnolia Parks. I'm a Magnolia Parks fan. I think that the quality of writing in the Magnolia Parks books are top tier. It's just fantastic writing again. So now I started the 5th book in the series, Magnolia Parks Into the Dark, and the 3rd Magnolia Parks book, and I'm completely obsessed again. Like, as soon as I start reading the Magnolia Parks books again, I'm like, this dialogue and the writing is fantastic. And I think I'm going to give this 5 stars. Like, I think I already know that this is going to be 5 stars. It's a little bit of a slow start, but I'm already on page 110. I already got through the first 100 pages, so I'm already, like, sticking to my goal. I'm hoping to get through 200 pages today. That's only another 90 pages. And I've actually been mostly listening to it because, like I said, I have the audiobook too, and I'm so glad that I turned in my Audible credit for the 4th Boys of Tommen book, which is keeping 6, to trade in for getting this book, so then I can just listen to this one, because obviously this was going to be the next book I was going to be listening to anyway while reading along with it. I've actually only read 20 pages of actually I read like 30 something pages, like 35 pages, but I mostly listened to it today and I'm just eating it up. So yeah, I'm just going to read tonight. I'm going to listen to the audiobook probably going home and also like taking my makeup off tonight. But then after that, I'm just going to read it physically and see how much I get through. But I'm hoping to get through the first 200 pages and I'm hoping to get through 200 pages tomorrow because on Friday, when I go to the beach, I'm not going to be able to read as much of it as I usually do. Because I'm probably not going to listen to it in the car going to the beach or even going back because I'm going to need my GPS most of that time. But also, like, I usually just bring my Kindle to the beach now, and I'm probably just going to continue reading What Lies Between Us on Friday, because I want to binge that on Sunday night after I finally finish this. But my goal is to finish this by Saturday night, so if I do stay home Saturday, which I most likely think I'm going to, I'm just going to binge that book to finish it, and I'm hoping to be on page like 500 by that point, so I think I can read the last 200 pages on Saturday. Because that's all I'm going to be doing is reading all day and probably running like 2 errands, but that's it. So yeah, I should be finished with it then, and then I can't believe I will have finished all the Magnolia Parks books that are out right now. It feels like a huge accomplishment in my reading journey right now because I haven't stuck to a series in so long. I've been reading like so many standalones or romances or just other genres that I am just gonna feel so accomplished catching up with the series. But But then the next beast to tackle will be Shatter Me, so I'm leaving that for August. So, but yeah, so far I've just been loving the Magnolia Parks books so much. They've been my only 5-star books this month besides Saving Six and Summer Romance. All the other books I've read this month have not been 5 stars. So I'm actually pretty happy that I decided to read this at the time that I'm reading it, because all the other books before this weren't really doing it for me. So I really do feel like there is a right place, right time, right mindset to read a certain book or series, and I'm just so glad that I took the time to read this. I can't believe I'm already on the 5th book. I've gotten through it a lot faster than I thought I would. I think I've gotten through it the same rate that I did ACOTAR, because I think I got through ACOTAR in like 2.5 weeks, and this I'll finish in 2 weeks. So I don't think even 2 weeks. I think I started it on, I know I keep on rambling, but I don't care. I think I started it on the 17th. So I think it's only, or like the 16th. So I think it's only been like 9 days. And then by the time I finish it, it'll be like 13 days. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. Bye.